What's up, guys? Episode 19, I believe. Next week, the big episode 20. Obviously, we don't care about that episode because I believe it is episode 22. That is going to be the greatest episode of all time. Yeah. So next week is 22 will be the greatest episode of all time, boys. But yeah, guys, fuck it, I'm gonna just start off. Let's go straight into a UFC. I couldn't have been more wrong in my life with most of these predictions. Main prelims, I did okay. Main card, did not predict Matt Brown, did not predict Bruno Silva, did not predict Choi Soin Wo. I think I predicted Marlon Vera. I'm not sure. I did not predict. I was gonna say this, like, I want Alexei to win, but I don't think he will because he's gonna get knocked out. But he held his ground. The second round was real close though. But yeah, Sergey, man, give Alexei an easy fight, please. Just give him an easy fight. Just so he can get his 60th and retire. Because I don't want to see him lose like this. But to be honest, in the second round, he nearly had it with the fuck, I actually can't remember what choke. Like, I know what choke it was, but I'm just, boys, I haven't fucking trained in so long that I just forgot all these names of the chokes. But it's like the one where you put your head under their arm and then you go kind of into side control and then you like let your legs go out and you squeeze up. I forgot what the fuck that's called, but he had that locked in and then the bell saved Sergey essentially. After that, I just fell asleep. I bounced. I missed the Korean zombie fight. I did watch a little bit of it afterwards. And I saw how it was just, Korean zombie, 5th round, the last couple of seconds, he was on the ground, basically trying to get the choke. But to see that he got a unanimous decision, it shows that, he is just a beast. He still is a beast. Do you know what I mean? 34 years old, so he's kind of leaving his prime a little bit, but he says he wants Max Holloway, which is interesting. I'd love to see that fight. I really would. But next card is going to be okay, to be honest with you. It's going to be alright. One thing I'm happy to say, actually, Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson is now the fucking co-main event of the July 11th Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor fight. Because I was saying, why the fuck is Tai Tuivasa and Greg Hardy the co-main? Nobody cares about these guys when it comes to Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson being on the same card. You know what I mean? Like, realistically, who deserves it more? Obviously, Tai Tuivasa versus Greg is actually a banger, though. I actually must say that's a guaranteed knockout, pretty much. So is the Sean O'Malley fight, and so is the Conor fight, which I still believe. I'm sticking with it for all these months. I'm sticking with Dustin Poirier finishing Conor McGregor. It's just as simple as that. Next week is going to be an okay card. Like, I don't even want to say okay. It's a dead card, boys. I'm gonna be real. It's just that it's a dead card. Like, one guy that I actually remember watching with Sean is Kennedy. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this fucking guy's name. Kennedy Ncheku. We watched him fight Carlos Alberg on the 6th of March, and he's such a weird fighter in my opinion. He's very weird. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see him back in action. Ovin Saint Pro. It's gonna be interesting to see him as well. Cyril Gain versus Alexander Volkov. nice little fight there. I'm gonna talk about all this in the predictions episode next week. Right now, I'm just talking about what happened last week or yesterday even. Uh, yeah. So it's one more card before 264. Can't wait for that. Max Holloway. Actually, I must go into that first of all. Max Holloway is out of his fight with Yair Rodriguez. He has been postponed, so it doesn't look like a serious injury, but it has been postponed. It doesn't say what injury it is as well. But this basically means that hopefully Islam Makhachev becomes the main event and we see him in a 5-rounder and we really get to see him test his cardio. Because let's be real, boys. That's the true fight to become a main event. Oh my days, Jeremy Stevens is a fucking prelim card fighter now. That's so unfortunate, you know. It is what it is, though. But that's all for MMA, really. But let's just go straight into the boxing. So yesterday, what did I talk about first? I believe I talked about the proper boxing. So I predicted it. I said that left hook is going to be a problem, and guess what? It was, and he got 3 nasty body shots. And I said he's gonna drop him early, and then he's gonna finish him. And he dropped him early, and he finished him. Not in the exact round, but I predicted the exact punch and how it's gonna go. Jermaine Charlo got a nice little victory over there. But let's be real, boys. The real fight is obviously my boy Anderson Silva, who beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He not only beat him, he outclassed him. And he won essentially. And it's crazy to think that he is 46 in a boxing fight and he's basically just fucking doing well. Alright guys, so yeah, Anderson Silva outclassed him and he looked great, to be honest with you. He actually looked good and it's good to see. Obviously, I saw people say that he should retire on that. However, this guy just loves fucking fighting, doesn't he? He just loves fighting. So I don't think he's gonna get away from it. He wants to fight, I forget who it is again, but he wants to fight Logan Paul. That's it. He wants to fight Logan Paul. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. versus Hector Camacho Jr. It was ruled a no decision because it was an exhibition. And Anderson Silva, a fucking nasty. It was given a split decision though, so obviously they didn't want Anderson Silva to win. It's quite obvious there, but man, fair play to him. I'm happy for him. I really am happy for Anderson Silva. Man, what a hard fucking day to be Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. He definitely wishes that Canelo was his son. Let's be real here, because losing to 46-year-old Anderson Silva, yeah, when you're a former world champion boxer, it's just a bit of a piss take. Like, imagine if Canelo was his son. He would be the proudest father of all time. But yeah, guys, carrying on to, well, there wasn't really much else to talk about boxing, to be honest with you. Carrying on to the Euros, fucking. Yesterday, obviously, Poland drew with Spain there. Today, in an hour actually, it's 4:01 now. Italy is gonna play Wales. I'm gonna watch that. And Switzerland versus Turkey. Boys, the big match tomorrow. Ukraine versus Austria. Now, man, if Ukraine if they win or draw, they go through. Because we're up on goals. It doesn't matter if we draw. It doesn't matter if we win. As long as we do either of those, we go through. It doesn't matter if Netherlands win. It doesn't matter if North Macedonia win. They're out the equation. Basically, this game, they couldn't have made it any more tense than it already is. Well, actually, they could have. If Netherlands lost, and it was basically, well, you know what I mean. Whatever. I might be glued to my monitor tomorrow watching that match. But, guys, Poland versus Spain, obviously. Netherlands are still the only ones in the top 16. And it's interesting, speaking about top 16s, I'm going to just segue straight into the NBA shit now. Boys, I'm going to be real, it's going to be a short one again. Again, there's not really much to talk about these days. Man, what a tough day to be a Nets fan. I'm going to be real, what a tough day. Durant had the chance to win. I watched a little bit of the game up until like halfway through the third quarter, and then I just went to bed. But I did watch the end of the overtime. Kevin Durant playing like Michael Jordan. He really wanted to win. Unfortunately, though, that 3-pointer in overtime didn't help. If he was just an inch further back before the end of the game there, he would have won it. But it was only a 2-pointer, which sent them into overtime. But man, I guess two of the teams that I predicted in the finals is gone. Now it's the Bucks going through versus either the 76ers or the Hawks, who are going to be playing tomorrow at 1 a.m. The Suns versus Clippers at 8:30 today. I'm going to watch that as well. Full day for me, to be honest with you. Bit of football and then a bit of basketball to watch. Very nice. I'm gonna say again, the Suns, I want them to win. Do I think they're gonna win? Maybe. I'm not sure. The Bucks really do have a good chance now. But I'm still gonna be supporting my boy Chris Paul. But man, it really shows how integral of a player Kyrie was for the Nets. Imagine all that money just to fucking get out to the Bucks. But now Kyrie Irving, he's only 29 as well, which is crazy to think about, to be honest with you. He was still not even in his prime. But man, that's so tough. Imagine actually getting fucking 4 insane players just to fucking get out of the playoffs after fucking up. I believe it was a 3. How big was the lead? I don't know. It was something crazy like 2-0 or 3-1 or something, right? It was crazy, but yeah, unfortunately, it's not the Nets year. And unfortunately, as I said, it's going to be quite a dead fucking finals now. Unless the Suns make it. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to all this. Oh yeah, I'll talk about the Game Bread Fighting Championship. I forgot to mention that. Obviously, Jason Knight got fucking dropped in the first counter punch thrown by felony Charles Bennett. But obviously, Jason Knight just kind of chilled, took his back, got the submission and dipped and won pretty much. Yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Next 2 episodes are gonna be quite dead, I must say, especially next week, since I have to be preparing for a Russian leaving certificate exam, which I have on Monday on the 28th. Then after that, there's going to be an okay episode. There might be a little teaser from a special guest. And then after that, you best believe it is going to be the greatest podcast of all time, okay? The greatest podcast of all time. The 11th of July. Wait for it, boys. Wait for it. You don't want to miss it. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you listening. And I'll see you all next week. Peace.